Is John Woo back? Well, let's take a look. Silent Night is a movie with an interesting premise. A father is outside with his son when they walk into a gang fight and the son is getting killed in the gunfight. The father tries to take out the gangsters but is eventually cornered and shot in the neck by the last remaining gang member. And all that on Christmas. What a shame. But the father survives, but is mute from now on. After struggling a lot, he starts to train for his revenge and gets an arsenal of weapons. While the start was already more over the top, the movie gave me a little hope that it might not go too crazy when the father is starting to train using weapons and first being pretty bad, but then getting better and better. Soon he starts his rampage, his vendetta against the gangsters. Some time has passed, it is Christmas again, and now is the right time to strike back. Well, to be upfront, Silent Night is no hard-boiled, but I doubt that anyone expected that. What we got is a decent action movie though. At least I would say so. Sure, having a movie with no dialogue is probably not for everyone, but I think they pulled it off rather well. Woo has put style in the foreground, and while the script isn't anything new or particularly good, it gives Woo the opportunity to show his skills once again. The fights are visceral and bloody, the colors vibrant, the shootout packs a punch, and there is time for some sentimentality. It's not for everyone, but it's decent and should satisfy action fans. The movie does have over-the-top action though, and while the beginning is already quite crazy, the first shootout is also going pretty hard. The father is just racing through the streets with his muscle car while there is a gang war going on. The kind of gang war that you usually saw in 80s movies or post-apocalyptic movies. I'm talking things like Death Wish 3 or one of the Mad Max ripoffs, Escape from LA ripoffs, but here it's just a Monday I guess. Shooting out of a driving vehicle while you yourself are driving is already very tough, I assume. But shit, he hits almost all the targets and his car has hardly any damage. Even though it gets shot a lot, I guess it's bulletproof? Yeah, he turns into John Wick quickly. At least he has no bulletproof suit, but a vest, and he does get shot and stabbed, and he hurts and is affected by it. Which is at least something compared to John Wick, who is usually just shaking and walking the issues off that he has, no matter how much damage he receives. There is a lot of action and Joel Kinnaman is doing a good job. I was invested in the movie for the most part, but sentimentality goes a bit overboard in the end. Once the father looks up at the giant Christmas balls and sees his son, first in memories and then what could have been, is just cheesy as fuck and too much. It also just looks odd that he sees it in those Christmas balls. It's more something that you would see in a sitcom from the 80s, I would say. After all the carnage and bloodshed, after introducing a cop who is dual wielding in the finale and having a junkie girl as a mini-boss in the ending, is a very John Woo scene, at least. I mean, she is shooting a lot with the MP and being a huge threat like the guy in the beginning of Hard Boiled. And as she is a woman in a John Woo film, she is being underestimated. Only to deliver another harsh blow after they think she's no longer a threat. I mean, yeah, that's John Woo for you. Those over-sentimental moments are also very John Woo, but he just overdoes it in the end. Even for me, who was okay with the earlier scenes, those damn Christmas balls, it's really just too much. I mean, the whole gang HQ looks ridiculous, with it being turned into a winter wonderland, kind of. I mean, what is the gang called? The El Santas? Also, despite being a kind of Christmas movie, or at least set at Christmas, there is not much of a Christmas feeling for the most part. But that's probably because it's shot in LA or somewhere else where it's pretty warm, and you don't see anything Christmas-like other than a present and those Christmas balls or the decoration in that gang HQ. Not gonna lie, the ending kind of broke a lot, and it is also followed up by a letter that is trying to justify the whole thing, that is written by the father. And it's even more ridiculous, the letter is on the kid's grave and the father brought a present. As it turns out, it was it was a model train. How do I know what was in the wrapped Christmas gift? Well, it's built up and running over the grave in the last couple of scenes, in the last couple of seconds of the movie. Not even sure how that should work. Doesn't that thing need to be plugged into a socket? Is there one in one of the graves? Doesn't make sense. Also, what does the father even work as? How does he get the money for the weapons, and how did he manage to get into contact with the gun dealers when he doesn't talk? And he probably didn't have any contact to gun dealers before. They could have maybe shown him writing in a notebook or his phone and showing it to someone to communicate, to at least establish this. But these are more like minor gripes, usually, if the movie is good enough and entertaining enough to distract you from this kind of stuff. But unfortunately, it's not that good. It's all a bit weird when you think about it. But I think if it would have been done better, it probably could have worked. But it's not quite there. It's not, even though I liked a couple of the action scenes, there was nothing really standing out, unfortunately. I mean, they were nice, but nothing to write home about. It's not terrible, not at all. It has mixed reviews, but I thought it was decent up to a certain point. But overall, yeah, it's not that great. It's kind of mediocre, and that's unfortunate with a John Woo film. But if it streams somewhere, you can give it a watch. It's not like you would feel like you have wasted all this time. You will probably be let down by the ending though. I mean, other than that, you could just watch The Killer or Hard Boiled. Or if you want some Christmas action movie, just watch Die Hard again. Or one of the Shane Black movies. They are usually set on Christmas. And Silent Night gets a 6 out of 10. Oh, a fun fact. Joel Kinnaman tried to be a method actor with this movie and wanted to not talk through the entire shoot. But then he decided that the quiet on the first drive to the shoot was enough. So yeah, that's fucking hilarious. Giving up that quickly and then mentioning it somewhere is just funny.